for you. In my heart burns, it burns for you. In my heart burns for you. So, one of the questions that I've had to ask myself over the last 4 years, in all the meetings, I mean, I've seen things I would have never dreamed. I've seen 300 plus cities across America and the world. But last night we were in Nevada, and I heard the Lord speak something to me that I hadn't heard since I was in my late 20s. And it was this: Sean, are you still hungry? Are you still desperate? Like, Lord, that's kind of offensive. Like, I mean, we're going to all 50 capitals. We're expending all our energy. We're overdosing on espresso. We're missing time away from our families, and we're jumping in this crazy bus in this truck, and we're bringing all this gear capital to capital, and we're fighting for permits, and none of this is easy. What do you mean, am I still hungry? Have you gotten so familiar with a God that you barely know? And I feel like, I'm just gonna be real, that I feel like in 2020, there was this desperation where it was like I've never seen anything like it in America. It was like, God, we've got to have you. Like, we were so desperate with the lockdowns and the craziness and all we were going through, and the economy and the sickness, and it was like, God, we're so desperate. And it was this hunger and passion that moved us. And oftentimes what happens with revivals is they get more institutionalized, they get more pretty, they get more calculated, they build their brand, they monetize everything, and they lose the fire. I mean, take a look at any denomination across America in the last 100 years. That's the story. And I feel the challenge from the Lord is, California, are you still hungry? Are you still desperate? Because heaven responds to hunger. And this is the truth. Why did we have such crazy gatherings across this state? 5,000 in San Diego, 7,000 at a mall parking lot in Temecula. You don't even know where that is. Fresno, Bakersfield, Redding. Almost everywhere we went. Why? Because people were so desperate. They didn't care. They weren't trying to be pretty. They weren't trying to be cool. They weren't being calculated. They were just desperate for Jesus. I don't know about you, but I never want to graduate from that place. And I feel like tonight, yes, we're celebrating what God's done. Yes, we're so grateful that He's moved in such a historic way in revival. But I feel like every one of us must answer the question, are we still desperate for Jesus? Do we still realize we have no other hope? Have we returned to pre-pandemic spirituality? I'm telling you today, I don't want to go back. Wave at me if you don't want to go back. I want to be the post-COVID radical crazy Jesus people church. I want to be the church that will not tolerate the spirit of Goliath in our lives, in our cities, in our families. I don't want to get into pre-pandemic Goliath management. Let's keep them over there in the corner. No, I want to get the slingshot. I want to walk out to the battlefield. And whatever that giant is, I want to see it fall down. And I feel like tonight such a deep cry to the heart of this state. Are you still desperate for Jesus? Are you willing to still gather in 113-degree heat with wildfire smoke in a city with no parking and march blocks and blocks away because you're hungry for Jesus? We can't go back to conference Christianity. We got to turn our cities upside down. We got to turn our schools upside down. We got to turn our universities upside down. And it's just like John Wesley said, I set myself on fire and the world will come to watch me burn. So we're going to take communion here in a minute. This is going to be powerful. But before we do that, I want to make room for those of you in here. We're doing it backwards. We're doing God's agenda tonight. We're off the sheet. I don't know where we are on the sheet. If you're here and you're like, Sean, I don't want to lose that hunger. We don't even have room to make an altar. You're going to make an altar right where you are. I want you just right now to get on your knees. If that's you. And this is a moment between you and God. Never graduate from raw hunger for Jesus. Everything in the world is going to try to distract you. It's going to try to make your heart grow hard. The evil is going to try to overwhelm you. But tonight the Lord says there's only one thing that matters. Will you reach to touch the hem of my garment? California, will you respond? Will you rend your heart? In my heart burns, it burns for you. In my heart. Come on, just sing that out. Come on, some of you, I see tears flowing. I see the power of God just moving across this capital. I see hunger rising in your heart. It burns. It burns for you. In my heart. Come on, let the hunger rise above the discouragement. Let the hunger rise above the resentment. Let the hunger rise again above the insecurities. Let the hunger begin to rise. Come on, we don't have time for casual Christianity anymore. We don't have time for pretty Christianity. It's time to get wild for Jesus. In my heart, it burns for you. Come on, let it rise in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. In my heart burns, it burns for you. Oh, in my heart burns, it burns for you. In my heart. Burns, oh it burns. Come on, just release that hunger. Come on, just release that hunger. Come on, release that hunger. Release that hunger. Oh, let it out, let it out.